Utah Jazz win tonight. Postcast special guest Craig Ackerman, Rockets radio. Ron was on TV, and it's really, frankly, I just make you the guinea pig of all my little adventures.
Is this the first time you've done this?
No, we do this after every game.
Oh, okay.
What are your thoughts on tonight's game?
Maybe we should have just flown straight home from Los Angeles last night.
No, because you get another free meal if I let you go in enough time.
Oh, really?
Well, you said that you got to do this.
Oh, yeah. I got to catch the early bus so I can get the first dibs of food on the plane, so
right.
I can sit there and eat it before you rush before we take off.
What, you can't eat after you take off?
I can, but I want to eat a second meal once we get in the air.
That's how you stay so slim.
Absolutely. Tough night for the Rockets. I mean, look, this is always a tough building to play in, not only for Houston but for anybody in the league. The Jazz have always been an excellent home court team. Second night of a back-to-back. It is what it is. Tough road trip. And the Rockets, they were just beaten soundly tonight. The transition defense was non-existent early. James Harden was sick, which didn't help. And you had a tired basketball team. They were just, again, they just were beaten in all phases of the game tonight.
Did the Jazz play well defensively by holding them to 35% shooting, or is that the Rockets' self-inflicted wound?
I always say it's always somewhere in between. Teams don't shoot poorly just based on great opposing defenses, nor do they shoot poorly or shoot well just based purely on what they do. I think the truth is always somewhere in between. The Rockets had a bad night offensively, but look, the Utah, the length and size of this team gives a lot of teams in this league trouble, and it certainly gave the Rockets some fits tonight.
Do Favors and Hayward look like better players to you than they were a year ago?
Favors 100%. Cantor's a little bit on the raw side.
Yeah.
Still, he's getting better.
So he had 3 assists tonight, and prior to tonight, he had 10 in the 77 games he played before. He had 2 all year before tonight.
Yeah, he's not one with the best touch yet, but he's still very young, still very raw. But Favors is a much improved player. He's still got a long way to go, but he's only 21 years of age. I think he's coming around. I don't see him ever becoming an all-star level player, but I think he can become a very solid player, especially if he continues to hang his hat on defense.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason he becomes an all-star player is if he becomes a defensive stalwart. I mean, I really think he could become defensive player of the year the way Tyson Chandler's is an all-star. That's the scenario where he becomes an all-star. He probably has more offensive skills than Dwight Howard and Tyson Chandler had at this age. Both of them have kind of found a way to become offensive players as the cops escort somebody out of the building. It's that crazy Salt Lake town, man.
It must be a Rockets fan, right?
It might have been. Had an extra pop along the way. I mean, that's the only way he ever becomes an all-star is that he does it, as you're saying, on the defensive end.
I think he lacks the explosion to be a dominant offensive player. Not to say it won't come, and we've had these conversations before. He just doesn't seem like he's explosive enough to become a dominant offensive player at his size.
He'll never be a guy you run the game through. He might end up being a 15-10 guy which
would be
perfectly
and then
fine. If he's a defensive star, then he gets his recognition. But you're right. I mean, that's the thing we have is, okay, so if in theory they're deciding either Paul or Al at the end of the season.
So, where were they going to go on that, by the way?
I don't know, and I feel like it changes every week because if Favors really is not developing an offensive game, then maybe you have to go to Al because you got to have someone to give the ball to. Paul is the perfect answer if Favors is ready and Cantor's ready to be your third big, but I don't know how it all plays out.
Yeah, Dennis Lindsey, by the way, a great guy, former Rockets executive, very happy for him getting a GM opportunity, well-deserved here in Utah. I know his family likes it up here a lot. Had a chance to talk with him before the game. And, again, everybody on our end very happy for him and the opportunity that he has here with the Jazz. And you folks have a good one.
All right, well, I don't have a lot more to ask you.
I don't have a whole lot more to add. I wish the Rockets were a little bit more competitive in this game tonight.
Lillard?
Huh?
How do you like Weaver State's Damian Lillard?
He's killed us twice.
I know.
He did that to us in an overtime win at Toyota Center, and he was ridiculous. He scored 16 of their last – he went through a stretch, end of fourth quarter, on into overtime in our opener of this road trip where the Rockets were up by 16 and lost the lead, where he scored 16 of 18. He was phenomenal. And he was hitting contested shots. That guy is – the real deal.
I did this whole scouting report on him, and I had these various concerns on the Jazz. Loved him. I mean, the Jazz loved him. I think they would have unloaded anything to get him. And I had these scouting reports, and I finally came up that I thought he could be Mike Conley or Drew Holiday, which I thought was a pretty big compliment. Like those.
Kevin McHale described him to me as Tim Hardaway.
No, he didn't go to the rim like Tim Hardaway.
he says he's big, strong, physical. He thinks he can get there. He's only a rookie. He went to the rim on us.
Wow. Really?
That's who he described him as.
I keep looking at his shooting chart, and he is getting to the rim, and he's finishing at a decent
And
level.
look, he has changed the future of that franchise.
All right.
At one point, if he turned out to be nothing, they might think, well, we got to go complete rebuild. They might trade LaMarcus Aldridge. But now with Lillard, there's no way in the heck you trade LaMarcus Aldridge.
And Nicholas Batum's not a bad third player. I mean, they actually.
Oh my gosh! How about a guy who's improved this game? When he came in the league, his calling card was defense. He was a starter at small forward against us in that playoff series 5 years ago, and was a terrible offensive player. That's one of the reasons why the Rockets beat them. One, because they decided not to front Yao in game 1 of that series, and he went like 9 for 9 in the first half. But they played Batum too much, and they were playing 4-on-5 of the offensive end. But he has become a heck of a player. Defensively, he's still sensational, and he has become a pretty reliable scorer for them. Credit where credit is due.
All right, that's Craig Ackerman. Always nice to have him. This was a little bit of a special postcast. Bye. Get out of here. That is the postcast. We do that after every game. You could watch it if you want to. It'd be good game prep.
We do Rockets Cast Live on Rockets.com. We need to get you on as a guest.
I'd love to. It's a Google Hangout. I'd love to come on.
Yeah, we need to get you on as a guest.
I watch.
You do?
But there's no way for me to really tell you I'm watching.
I know. We're working on. We got to get. We've got the next phase is to get a chat.
Yeah, I like it. Actually, I guess we'll just tell everyone this since it's still working. I actually was on a conference call with Google today.
Oh.
They called me because of the way I've been using Google Hangout for what are some of the new things we would like that would make it better for us. So that was that's an actually example I gave them.
So yeah, definitely
so
did add
you get
that.
all the stuff, just thank me.
See, look, so we go 0-3 on the road trip, and now I get to go home and deal with a burst pipe at the house. So really looking forward to that.
Good, have fun. I'm sure that bill will be small.